He is leading the Patriot Freedom March with a fiery passion. He stands behind our president, our country, our right to free speech, and most of all, our freedom. We will never forget that day in Berkeley, California at the free speech rally. When he defended our glorious flag. Please welcome him, Texas-style Grandmaster Alt-Knight and VP to Proud Boys, Bass Chapman, Chapman!
Howdy, your boy! Howdy, boy! That guy.
What's up, Texas? Where my Proud Boys at? I said, where my Proud Boys at? That's right. How about my Alt-Knights? Where my Alt-Knights at? I know you guys are a little louder than that. Where are my Alt-Knights at? Guys, if you didn't know, I'm part of two organizations, Proud Boys and the Alt-Knights. I'm Vice President of the Proud Boys and President of the Alt-Knights. These groups have showed up here today to provide not only support, but defense for you patriots. They are here to push back against those that wish to attack us and oppress our right to exercise our First Amendment. That's why they're here. I want you guys to understand that these men come here willing to put their safety at risk to defend all of you. So I want all of you to give them a hand right now. Yeah. As many of you know, I became known for my actions at the battles of Berkeley. Those,
Communists.
Yeah, exactly. We were fighting communists, guys. That's what we were doing at the Battle of Berkeley. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about sacrifice. I showed up at the first Battle of Berkeley 3 months after my 7th knee surgery. It was a high tibial osteotomy. It's one of the most painful knee surgeries you can have. It's where they cut your tibia in half and reposition it. That's a last-ditch effort to prevent a full knee replacement. I was supposed to be on crutches for 4 months. I was on crutches the day before I went to Berkeley. If you look at how I was walking, I had a pronounced limp in all those videos. My actions at the Battle of Berkeley, or the various battles of Berkeley, led to me being arrested 3 different times. I'm currently on $112,000 bail. I have an ongoing investigation of 5 felonies and 3 misdemeanors hanging over my head right now. I fractured bones at the Battle of Berkeley. Second Battle of Berkeley, I detached my bicep. Just got that reattached about 5 days ago. My home and my vehicles have been vandalized. My livelihood and employment has been jeopardized. My home life has been upset. I've been viciously slandered by the media, and recently I've been threatened by the government, namely the FBI. But let's not forget, these actions have also done something else. These sacrifices have lit a fire in the hearts of Western men all over the world. People are standing up, and they have rediscovered their warrior spirit. They have rediscovered their warrior spirit, and they are standing up, fighting for their homeland, fighting for their civilization, their culture, their heritage. They have found the will and the drive to defend Western civilization, and that is what we all must stand up and do. All of you need to learn that you are going to have to sacrifice if this is going to work. You're going to have to bleed. You will have to go to jail. You understand? Our founding fathers sacrificed their lives. Their families were slaughtered by the British. They watched their women and their children tortured and killed in front of them. And they entered into that revolution knowing full well that that's what they were going into. That the death of them and the death of their families were on the line. That their lives were on the line, and death was a very good possibility. Since the first Battle of Berkeley, we have achieved victory. And we have achieved a lot of victories. This warrior spirit that was awakened by my actions and the actions of other brave warriors at the first and second Battle of Berkeley has awakened people all over the world. I have people reaching out to me from London. It's one of my biggest fan bases is London. I have Britain First, Tommy Robinson reaching out to me. How about Tommy Robinson? You guys want to talk about a warrior? Let's hear it for the Tommy the Lion Robinson. I love that guy. If you want to model yourself after anyone, Tommy Robinson is a true warrior, people. So it's lit a fire all over the world, and people are standing up. People are pushing back against political correctness. The right is finally hitting the streets, boots on the ground, and letting our voices be heard. This is where they've beaten us over and over again because we are such a peaceful, law-abiding, hard-working people. And we tend not to go out and do things like this, street action, protest, counter-protest, and march. But that has to change if we are going to succeed, guys. We cannot let them control the optics any longer. We cannot allow ourselves to be systematically oppressed in these left-wing liberal enclaves like Austin, Texas. Listen, I live in San Francisco, and the Bay Area is the most liberal bubble in the entire country. I rock my MAGA hats, I rock my Trump shirts, my Proud Boy shirts, all over that town, and I don't stand down. And that's what has to be done. We can no longer hide in the shadows because of fear of violent leftist aggression. You guys are going to have to take this face on if we're going to win. Yes. Are you ready to do that?
Yeah.
So we, at the battles of Berkeley, we confronted the evil that is known as communism. It's also known as neo-Marxism. Many people, this is the combination of communism, globalism, and retardation, liberal retardation, also known as libtards. So we confronted them that day. The first Battle of Berkeley, we were outnumbered 3-1. And I showed up with my helmet, my shield, my stick. I showed up with a bag of flagpoles, and I distributed them out to other people that were there so they can show their patriotism if needed. So that day we were outnumbered 3, maybe 4-1, and we won that day. We stood those people down. They did not break our front lines. We had a lot of casualties, but we won. Outnumbered 3-1. And these are the situations you guys are going to be put into. You're going to be outnumbered 3-1, 4-1. You can still win. You might take a lump. You might get some stitches, a broken nose. Maybe you do a little time in jail. But you can still win at those odds. The second Battle of Berkeley was a little different. The second Battle of Berkeley, all these Proud Boys showed up. We had alt-night showing up. We had patriots and stickmen from all over the country show up. We had people flying from New York, Hawaii, Florida, Illinois. We had probably about 350 people, and we took on 400 Antifa at the Battle of Berkeley, second Battle of Berkeley. And I'll tell you what, you guys go ahead and look at that footage online. We handed them their ass. That was a fun day. I also got arrested that day too. Par for the course, though, right?
Run your boy.
So the cops stood down at the first Battle of Berkeley. The second Battle of Berkeley, they stood down again and allowed Antifa to attack us. Then we had the third, what I like to refer to as Berkeley 3.0. The cops finally heard us. They did not stand down. They finally did their jobs. And if they didn't stand down, it wouldn't have mattered because we had 500 patriots show up at Berkeley 3.0, ready to rock and roll. We were so strong with Warriors. It's one of the strongest assemblies of Warriors I'd ever seen in my life. Everybody was clad in body armor, helmets, shields. I mean, they were ready to rock, guys. It was a beautiful thing. So we had to fight. We had to battle the first and second Battle of Berkeley. The third battle, the Berkeley 3.0, they finally heard us. They finally got the message, and we made the police do their jobs. We accomplished our goal of peacefully exercising. There wasn't one fight that day. We were able to peacefully exercise our First Amendment rights in the most liberal city in the entire country without one instance of violence. And that's what our goal was. Now, my reason for telling you all this stuff about myself and the various battles of Berkeley is not to gain your sympathy. It's not even to gain your support. It's to impress upon you the necessity for sacrifice. The necessity that all of you are going to have to sacrifice if you want to save Western civilization, if you want to honor your ancestors that fought and died for this country, you are going to have to bleed.
Yeah.
You're going to have to fight. There is no other way around it. These are not revolutionary ideas. All right? People have been fighting, shedding blood, and dying for their freedom since the dawn of man. This is not revolutionary. This is part and parcel to human nature. There is an ongoing battle. All right? It's been going on since the dawn of man between good and evil. It's a spiritual battle that we are engaged on. This battle is perpetual. It will never end. It's a war that will never end. You have to understand that. We will never win this war. We will be fighting this war until we die. Then our children will be fighting this war, and their children will be fighting this war. The idea is that we mount up victory after victory, and we win battle after battle. And I tell you what, since Donald Trump was elected, we have been winning more victories for freedom and liberty than we ever have in my lifetime. The other thing we have to understand is we're not just saving Western civilization here. We're saving Christianity, guys. Christianity is under attack. We've seen what happens when nations turn their back on God. We've seen the terror, the rape, the pillage, and destruction of Western Europe that's happening right before our eyes. You know what they did about 30 years ago? They turned their backs on God. They are primarily a secular, atheistic society that has turned their backs on God, and their God is now the state. Now, whether you are a Christian or not, you need to understand that having a God and having God as part of your government, part of your system, is integral to preserving freedom and to preserving liberty. Because you do not answer to the state, right? We answer to God. The state is not our master. The state answers to us. We are the people. The only person we answer to is God. When you remove God, the state becomes God. They decide what is best for you. So, we're not that far behind Western Europe, guys. We're not. And that shit can happen here. But they want it to happen here. The globalists, the Hillary Clintons, the Barack Obamas, in California, Jerry Brown, where I live, he just announced that they want to bring 5 million refugees, or refugees, is that really the term? To California. 5 million. Do you have any idea what that would do to a society by adding 5 million refugees to a state like California? It destroys us. It will destroy us, guys. So, to push back against this, we have to realize, how did we get to where we are now? What led us to where we are now in this world, and with this inversion of logic to where Western civilization is fighting for its very life? And there's several different factors, but I think the one term that can sum it all up is cultural Marxism. That's why we're at where we're at now, guys. We have been culturally indoctrinated from the media, from academia, from every different angle by cultural Marxists. It has turned reason, logic, and truth on its head. It has brought in political correctness. It has brought in terms like white privilege. It has brought in terms like diversity is our strength and multiculturalism. All nonsense. Assimilation is our strength. National identity and unity is our strength. Oh, affirmative action too. Okay. Don't leave that one out, guys. So, this movement that promotes unreason and irrationality through the guise of various causes is often promoted by so-called social justice warriors. You all know who they are, right? The SJWs? They usually have like one side of their head shaved. They have like a nose piercing, maybe some purple hair.
One side is purple.
One side is purple. The dudes kind of look like chicks. The chicks kind of look like dudes. Pretty easy to spot, right? They all think they're different and unique, but then they don't realize that they are no longer the counterculture. They have become the new moral majority that existed back in the 1970s and 80s. So their causes and their proponents are contradictory. They're never rooted in fact. Indeed, true argument or discussion with proponents of these causes is almost impossible, as most attempts at discourse quickly descend into shouting, name-calling, and chanting of slogans. Now, we've all experienced this, right? Or you've at least seen it. Where they just what do they like to call us, guys?
Nazis!
Oh, Nazis! That's a new one, yeah. Nazis, racist, fascists. Any other ones?
Traitors!
Oh yeah, the KKK. I mean, who really believes that there's any KKK anymore? It's like 3 out of 4 of those guys are federal informants. It's insane. So yeah, they try to shut us down, and that's what we have to get past, guys. Is you all are going to be called Nazis. You're going to be called racist. They're going to use cultural Marxism against you to shut you the hell up and to get you to cower back into the shadows, because we have been taught that being called a racist, being called a Nazi is the worst thing in the world, and we instantly have to go and defend it. We have to start virtue signaling to say or show that we're not racist. We're done with that shit, guys. We are American patriots. They are liars. They are mentally ill. Let them say what they want to say. We will keep pressing forward with our movement for freedom, justice, and liberty for the American people. So now that we understand that we have to proceed forward, unbound by the chains of political correctness, unbound by cultural Marxist indoctrination, and we have to right the inversion of reason and logic. We have a common cause. We can start talking about things like, no, multiculturalism is not a good thing. Diversity is not a good thing. Immigration? No, it's not a good thing. It's bad. It's doing more harm than good. And wait 30 years. Wait until AI technology, robotics, and automation replaces a lot of these low-skilled laborers, and all those people they've imported are now on welfare. How do you think those people are going to vote? We're looking at a 30% decimation of our workforce in the next 30 years due to robotics, automation, and artificial intelligence.
Build that wall.
We got to build that wall, people. And I'm not saying just slow immigration. We need to stop it completely. We need to stop it and look out for our people here, whether you're brown, yellow, white, black. We need to stop it and look out for Americans first, guys. America first. So I've gone a little long today. So to sum all this up, I think there's one central theme of what we all are here for, what we stand for. We stand for freedom. We stand for liberty. And we stand for truth. Guys, what do we stand for? What do we stand for? What do we stand for? Thank you, guys. Listen, thank you, guys. Thank you. Listen, I do most of this traveling on my own.
Running, never stopping when you feel you're getting nowhere. Understanding where you're headed, cause
you're straight. I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, Latino, or whatever you are. You can roll with me if you believe in this country.
For the answers to the questions that you can't find, just to try and stop and love your neighbor even if it's not fair.
Yourself with a gun. The police are called and you're potentially involved in a homicide, but it was self-defense. At this point, you are not in your right mind. No one ever is when they are in fear for their life and defend themselves. Anything you say can and will be used in a court of law, both civilly and criminally. Fortunately, you have selfdefensefund.com. We are the National Association for Legal Gun Defense, and we protect our members nationally in all 50 states, up to $1 million per incident per member. Let us do the talking for you and visit selfdefensefund.com. Any weapon, any state, anytime.